Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Justin here. As always, guys, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. It's been a while. It's been a few days since I posted a video, so it's good to talk to you guys again. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All that good stuff. Let's talk about this haul. I almost held off a couple days because I have a few more things coming in the mail that I was going to wait for, but I thought I have enough stuff coming for another haul, so we'll just do another haul in a few days. I'm sure you guys are always down to see all the dumb shit I buy, so I will show you all the dumb shit that I bought. Again, it's been a while since I posted. Thank you guys so much for coming back and checking me out. I'm gonna record a couple more videos after this, so I have tons more content coming your way. Bunch of cool stuff coming in December as far as Christmas horror and Christmas related stuff. I have cool videos coming up in December for December horror movies. I have themed months for January and February, so stay tuned. I got a lot of fun stuff coming. But let's dive into it, shall we? First up, I got, you guys know I love my horror shirts. I picked up just one shirt from Fright Rags, Black Friday sale, Night of the Creeps. Really cool design. I bought it in a medium, probably should have got it in a large. Your boy's struggling with gaining some LBs, but I'm gonna get back into fighting shape. Don't you worry about that. We're gonna think thin. We're gonna squeeze into this motherfucker. Yeah, I love that design. Such a fun movie. If you guys haven't seen Night of the Creeps, definitely check it out. It's really, really classic. I couldn't resist any longer, guys. I saw too many of you guys posting this on Instagram and unboxings on YouTube, and the FOMO, it just became too strong to resist. I couldn't resist picking up the Evil Dead Groovy set, Evil Dead 1 and 2 4K, as well as all 3 seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I justified this pretty much only because I don't own Ash vs. Evil Dead. I think I had a couple of the steelbooks at one point and got rid of them because they were really selling for a lot at one point, and I was like, they'll end up releasing a steelbook with all of them or something. I don't know. I should have held on to those, but it gave me an excuse to buy this, so I'm really, really stoked. Oh, it's upside down. I do own the first and the second one on 4K with the slips and everything. I am not a massive fan of the way these things are packed. For those of you who have not seen this set, the thing opens up like this. There's a little tray inside, and it has this really cool open, like hardcover book, which has really cool artwork. It's a really super rad set, but the discs do just kind of sit in these trays, which I am really not a fan of. But you know, what are you gonna do? It's such a cool release. I couldn't pass it up. The FOMO was too strong. And I actually have not seen season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I think a lot of people haven't. That's probably why it's not around anymore. Next up, Fangoria magazines. You guys probably have seen on my Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. In fact, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen all this stuff. I post all my collection updates on Instagram, so be sure and follow me there. I picked up a bunch of Fangoria, which I am just a massive fan of looking at these. Every time you crack open an old Fangoria, a lot of these are from 1997. Every time you crack one of these open, it's like going back into a horror time capsule. I mean, it's just amazing. I love looking through these magazines. I am on a quest to own every single issue, not all the side issues and the bonus issues, but just the main monthly magazines. I want to own all of them. There's a couple thousand. I don't know how many there are, but let me just look at how far back we're going here. Like I said, these are late 90s, early 2000s. I have some from the first year that Fangoria was out as well. Deep Rising, Alien Resurrection, The Lost World, covering The Lost World there. A movie called Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin, Trotters, get it?
Which I've never heard of, but they must have thought it was going to be big because it's on the cover of Fangoria, and I've never heard of it. It's pretty interesting. What else are they talking about here? Lost Highway, David Lynch's Weirdest Yet. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Stephen King remakes The Shining. So this is way back when the TV series was getting ready to come out. Another Lost World, Event Horizon. They have all these gnarly covers with gore on the cover. I just love it. And then it's also, the ads are part of the coolest aspects of these old magazines as well. Like here you have like these Mars Attacks figures from, you know, the 90s or early 2000s or whatever it was. I still see ads for Charles Band hawking Puppet Master toys way back in the day. He's still at it. The live action Spawn movie. Wishmaster, Wes Craven's Arabian Frights, Wishmaster, Genie from Hell. So it just shows you how far back these things go, all the way from the 70s, 80s, and they recently brought it back. It's in its second revival year. So cool. If any of you have any Fangoria sitting around gathering dust, send them my way. We'll make a deal. Hit me up on Instagram. We'll talk, okay? Next up, a little kind of an oddity that I just stumbled across on Walmart, and that is this Freddy Krueger 1958 Cadillac Series 62, which has the stripes on the convertible top. It's got a little, just a little tiny, almost like a Kenner mini Freddy figure. The display box is really cool. I'll eventually take it out when I have a place to display it, but the box is cool because it kind of has this panorama. There's his glove popping up behind the car. There's a passenger inside the car, which is just really, really rad. It looks like the company is Hollywood Rides. And then they have different categories, subcategories, and this is American Horror Rides. So I think they have Christine, Stephen King's It, the new one. So I thought that was really cool, kind of an odd collector's item. Next up, also if you guys have been following the channel, you know I'm big on Bogglins. I have 5 or 6 Bogglin videos. And I got another variety. Tim Clark keeps cranking these out. A while back, you guys may have saw the Killer Clown Bogglin, which is really cool. It was part of the Dark Lords collection with the pumpkin and the Bog of Bones, which was the skeleton one. And then he had this really cool clown one, which is super rad. I've got full in-depth videos on all these if you want to check out my Bogglins playlist. But he releases these different variant colorways, and it's just a different paint job of the clown. Now, as I complained about in my very first Bogglin video way back when, there was a wave of sadness that swept over me when I saw it. Gird your loins, guys. It's not a pretty sight. Can you believe that? Nope. This is how it arrived on my doorstep. You can see the Bogglins through there. The t-shirt was just kind of hanging out of the side of the box. Now I know that's not Tim Clark's fault, but Tri-Action Toys, guys, you gotta fix this. I got my Kickstarter package. You guys may have heard me bitching about how Tri-Action Toys ships their items, and obviously they haven't corrected that, because I saw when I got in the mail, I looked on the porch, the side of the box was bashed in, and I knew it was gonna be damaged. The whole side of this box is bashed in, and the top of the box is bashed in. All they have to do is pack it in a box that's slightly bigger with a little bit of packing material. That's it. Just, I mean, gosh, it's packed in a box that is 100% like flush in the box. So, and it's just right there. If this thing even gets the smallest bump, it's gonna be fucked up. And when I got my first Bogglins ever, it was a box with 3 of them in there, and then there was like an empty space, and that there was a hole bashed in, as if somebody had just punched a hole in the box. So I wish they would pack the shit better, because it's a real bummer. Now we have the Blu-ray section. I have a bunch of Blu-rays. These next ones are all from the Kino Lorber sale. A lot of these I haven't seen, some of them I haven't seen, and a lot of them I have. First up, Gross Anatomy with Matthew Modine. This is a fun little 80s comedy, sort of dark comedy kind of a deal. It's by the director of, where is it? Night of the Comet and Soul Survivor. So kind of a genre filmmaker. This isn't a horror movie by any means, but it does take place in med school during Gross Anatomy, where they, you know, chop up the cadavers for educational purposes and all that stuff. It's a little bit of a love story, kind of a dark comedy. I really dig it. I love all those silly movies, and it was really cheap. I think it was $6 or $7.99. Next up, Nightmare Beach from director Umberto Lenzi, notorious director of Paranoia, Seven Blood, Stained Orchid, Spasmo, Eyeball, and Cannibal Ferox.
Ferox.
That's the proper pronunciation.
No.
About a killer stalking people on the beach. He rides a motorcycle and strangles people. I've never seen it. Really looking forward to checking that one out. Also, 2 more movies that I've never seen that I am super excited about seeing, and Cannibal Apocalypse with John Saxon. A funny side note here, this is directed by Antonio Margaretti.
Antonio Margaretti.
Ancora?
Margaretti.
Un'altra volta, ma adesso vorrei proprio sentire la musica delle parole.
Margarete.
I don't know, I'm not up on my Italian directors. I just know that name from Inglourious Bastards. I wasn't aware that, I should have known, being Tarantino, that he would use a director's name, but it's directed by Antonio Margarete.
Margarete.
And one that I am so excited to watch, and that is I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle. This is about a killer motorcycle, sort of like Christine, except way more schlocky and way more silly. I heard about this on a great podcast called Colors of the Dark, hosted by Elric Kane and Rebecca McKendry. It's a great podcast if you're just looking for sort of lost movies and just great movie recommendations that a lot of them you've never heard of. This was a recommendation from Elric, so I am really excited to check that one out. Watch YouTube some clips from I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle and tell me this thing doesn't look amazing. I can't wait to watch that. Also one of these, I think, is it Nightmare Beach? Nightmare Beach also stars Michael Parks in an early role from Michael Parks, who's been in a bunch of stuff. He was the guy who turns Justin Long into a walrus in in Tusk. He's the sheriff in From Dusk Till Dawn, tons of stuff. Anyway, also some 4K titles from Kino Lorber. I got Misery, Silence of the Lambs, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 one. I wanted to snag these before the slipcovers sold out. Now, Scream Factory did release Misery already. I don't know if these are the same special features. Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if Scream Factory maybe lost the rights and they're not going to do a 4K. I don't know. Maybe I jumped the gun, but I like Kino, so I'll probably stick with this. Even if Scream Factory does re-release Misery again with the 4K, I'll probably stick with this. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I'm really stoked. And of course, Silence of the Lambs is just fantastic. Some new artwork would have been cool. They kind of stick on these, a lot of Kino's titles like this, they stick with the classic artwork for the slips, so I don't know if there's alternate artwork in there anywhere else. Kino Lorber really isn't known for really flashy presentation or new commissioned artwork. They just make good releases with great transfers, and they dig up a lot of these older movies. I know I got movies like Miracle Beach and Life with Mikey, and what else have I gotten from Kino? They release a lot of these really fun titles that don't get a big, huge presentation, but you're just lucky to have them on Blu-ray. So next, a couple from Scream Factory, which I just got in today. Deadly Friend and Krampus, the Naughty Cut. I haven't seen Krampus since the theater. I remember being lukewarm on it, but this is a new cut. I feel like I just didn't give this a proper chance. I think I was just kind of putting it on the same pedestal that maybe Trick or Treat was. It's the same director as Trick or Treat. So I think I was just being a stickler, but there's tons of special features on this thing. It's extra scenes. It's a little bit longer of a cut. Tons of features. Cool artwork. It's 4K release, so I'm happy to have that one. And then Deadly Friend, which I've never seen. This is a Wes Craven movie starring Christy Swanson, who I'm a big fan of. Not so much anymore, but back in the day. Wes Craven made this when he was going through like a divorce and going through a rough time. I think he needed some cash or something, but it's entertaining nonetheless. It looks entertaining. I've actually never seen it. Next up, I had to pick up Steel Dawn. This is a Vestron release. I've actually never even heard of this movie, but I will own every Vestron Collector's Edition. It's the first sort of series of Blu-rays that I was able to catch from the very first release. So now I have all of them. This is the 23rd release. From what I can gather by the picture and the description, it looks like it's some sort of a Mad Max sort of ripoff. Where it's like a post-apocalyptic wasteland kind of a deal, but it looks highly entertaining, and who doesn't love fucking Patrick Swayze? He's the man, R.I.P. Next up, Mosquito. I posted about this on my Instagram. This one I really wanted to love. I actually picked this up a week or two ago. I wanted to love this so much after seeing scenes and hearing about it, seeing stills from it. It looks like I thought this was just going to be this bonkers gore fest, amazing practical effects throughout, and it's really kind of a letdown. It's a little boring, a little slow, and it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It just sort of let me down. There's not enough of the mosquito shit that you want to see. It's about mutant mosquitoes from outer space, from a meteor or some shit that start killing people, but there's just not enough mosquito action. There's not enough kills. It's just sort of a letdown. Next up, Piercing. This movie is amazing. It's really hard to describe. I've tried to describe it before. On the surface, it doesn't sound like it would be crazy good, but I assure you it is. It stars Mia Wasikowska and Christopher Abbott. Some of you guys might know Christopher Abbott from Possessor. Great actor, and I think the girl was also Alice in Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton's version. I think that's her. Don't hold me to that, but basically, Christopher Abbott is living a normal life, you know, working a business job, and he's got a wife, kids, but he has this insatiable lust for blood. He has this urge to kill, but he hasn't got a first kill yet, but he wants to murder somebody randomly. So he plans this sort of phony business trip to get away from his wife and his kid, and he stays at a hotel, and he's going to commit a murder. He just really wants to do some murdering, and he picks the wrong victim. That's for sure. And this thing turns into this... It's really, really cringy. The amount, like the violence in this movie is just so painful looking. Like I don't want to spoil it, but this is, just watch this movie. I'm terrible at explaining that movie. I've tried to explain it to people before. Fucking watch this movie. Nobody's ever heard of it, and it's fucking bonkers. It's hard to watch. It's cringe-inducing. The violence that happens towards the end of it, they just fuck each other up. It's glorious. And finally, and last but definitely not least, Malignant. I loved this movie. I did a full review for it. I'm not a big James Wan fan. I don't like his brand of horror usually. I liked Saw, the first Saw movie. And when I saw the trailer for Malignant, I thought it was just going to be another, I was like, oh God, here we go. Another fucking James Wan thing. The trailer... I'm glad they misled me on the trailer. I probably did maybe jump the gun on this one, just buying this standard Blu-ray release. I'm surprised that it didn't get a 4K release. And who knows if it'll eventually get some sort of special edition or something. Something like this movie is so odd, and it's such a genre movie. I wish maybe one of the smaller companies would have been able to release it, but James Wan's just too big. And I wish like Arrow Video or Vinegar Syndrome could have given this a really cool release, but who knows? Maybe down the line. So guys, that is it. Thank you so much. I actually recorded this twice to try to tighten it up and get the runtime a little quicker, and I think it ended up being 20-something minutes anyway. But anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I missed you guys. Plenty of content coming. Like I said, I have themed months for December, January, and February. January is going to be werewolf month, so look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much, guys. I think we're done here. Stay weird. Remember to always be yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.